An update now on a shooting in Bridgeport that involved a police officer. The office of the state's attorney releasing surveillance footage showing what happened. The state's attorney's report says FBI agents and Bridgeport police were conducting a traffic stop Tuesday night at Main and Catherine Streets after they were tipped off about an illegal gun in the car. Now, 5 different unmarked cruisers surrounded the car. And that's when police say the car reversed, causing one officer to be pinned between the driver's door and frame. Police say that the car then headed toward officers on the roadway, and that's when the report says an officer fired his gun, which hit the driver of the car in the leg. He then crashed into a light pole. Police say a loaded semi-automatic was found in the car. The state's attorney's office says it is still determining whether criminal charges will be filed against the car's occupants. Police and FBI agents were not wearing body cameras at the time.